I am a baby boomer.
I definitely am a baby boomer.
I'm a baby boomer.
I'm a millennial.
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 I am a millennial.
I'm a millennial.
In today's media-driven world, people, especially millennials and generations beyond, are being bombarded with images, stories, videos, marketing campaigns, and so on, all vying to sell or make the viewers believe that the good life is attainable more so than any other time in history. This is a film that is going to look into this topic and shed some light on the way that millennials plan on growing their fortunes and if previous generations have happily handed off the torch to a better or worse generation in regards to striking it rich, escaping the rat race, and overall gratification. I welcome you to Millennial Monopoly. Today, some relevant generations are mature/silents who were born around 1927 through 1945, baby boomers born around 1946 through 1964, Generation X who were born around 1965 through 1979, Millennials/Generation Y who were born around 1980 through 2000, and the newest generation is Boomlets/Generation Z who are born from 2001 and on. So what does the average person on the street think about millennials, generational opportunities, wealth, happiness, career path, and other important life topics?
Yes, I think I'll be rich one day because I'm a real estate investor and it's a great way to invest money to build wealth.
I think that past generations have a lot to offer, present and future, just because they've been through a lot of things that we'll go through. And so life experience is something that they have a lot of, and they have a lot of wisdom.
I probably will be rich one day, but rich in spirit and mind. Financially, I think I'll be comfortable. That's my goal.
Let's talk to Parker Stiles, a millennial entrepreneur who is looking to make his fortune from flipping real estate and owning rental properties.
I love real estate. I've always been around it. My dad's done it forever. It's the easiest, in my opinion, it's the easiest, fastest way for the average person to escape that rat race, so to speak, and experience true time and financial freedom.
This is Nancy Vermel, a baby boomer who has been a passionate elementary school special education teacher for a good majority of her professional career.
I actually started providing for myself and even for my family before I left home. My family needed me to help support them. So I started in retail with working in shops like pizza parlors and ice cream shops and stuff like that, whatever I could find. Later on, I started working in the hotel industry. So I've done lots of things before I went teaching.
This is Thomas Hewitt, a baby boomer who is an expert on the subject of business. He is a professor of marketing at Kennesaw State University, holds a PhD in business, and is the owner of Hewitt Consulting and Firearms Service.
Today's college graduates, I would suggest finding an internship within an industry or career field that they really like and have already identified with as they were growing up, whether it be in sports, be in music, be in teaching, and a variety of subjects in teaching, or an industry, if it's that area, is something related to something they've already dealt with at some point in their lives. Each millennial should have a focus on a particular industry segment that they want to excel in, but also have fun in doing the work within that segment. If they don't have the fun, then they're probably not going to stay in it very long. And that's been pretty much borne out by even our sons who have jumped from job to job every 2 or 3 years.
No, I could never see myself working a stereotypically 9-to-5 safe job like most parents have taught their kids to do. To me, being safe is boring, and I don't mean that it's taking uncalculated risk is smart or something that I do all the time. What I mean is that being safe comes with it a feeling of comfort, and with comfort comes slack. for the most part, everyone with a 9-to-5 job that I know of has eventually, become bored and begins to lose the fire and tenacity that they once had. And once that's gone, you might not have a job for much longer because there's someone right around the corner that's willing to work harder than you. And this is also why I think that there are no typically, safe 9-to-5 jobs anymore.
I get up early in the morning before dawn, and I'm at work often before dawn. I often leave work after the sun goes down. Every minute is packed with either getting ready to teach something, teaching it, having a meeting about procedures or instructional strategies, or any number of things that it takes to run a school. Pack my day, and then at the end of the day, when everything else is done, that's time for me to look at papers, read emails, probably and think about how I'm going to tackle the next day, and that easily fills 12, 14 hours.
Millennials are unique in that they are probably the first total generation to grow up in the electronic communications era that we're currently in. They grew up with that, and from the first instrument they had, most likely, or tool they had in communications, which is a cell phone. And because of that, that gives them an advantage to communicate more freely with other people, which pretty much should open doors for them. And whether or not it does, that's up to each individual.
If you don't have any time to be doing the things that you actually want to do with that money, and more importantly, spend time with the people you want to be spending your time with, then I'd rather make less money and, actually have a life. So to me, the route I'm taking is all about working less and making more, which, in all actuality, if you believe it or not, is actually possible.
A few years ago, the economy, politicians did some things. They didn't watch big companies like they should have. And big companies got greedy and took advantage of things. And 401ks and less than traditional retirement instruments were decimated.
Going into business ventures, this is a good time. The time of the year has a lot of impact. So whoever goes into business now needs to make sure that it's the season for it within that industry segment. As long as they're prepared to do that, then it's a good time to go, regardless of who the person is, right out of college or someone who's got a couple of years experience out of training. And that's pretty much how I view it. There's always a good time to go into business, but you've got to pick it based upon the industry you're going into. For a startup business, I would say that there's 3 keys. One is having a sound business plan. That includes all the marketing components as well, which is usually what I've found is left off with the companies I've consulted with. The other is have financial backing to be able to carry you for at least 2 years. Not 1 year like was what was previously thought, but 2 years. And then thirdly, have a long-term vision of where you want to be with your company.
I have a goal to be making $1 million a year in residual income by the age of 30. So when I reach that residual income level, I'd say I'd be retired, so to speak. But will I keep working? Of course I will, because you can always use more money, and if I didn't, I'd be bored to tears.
I also think that the economy's changed, and the reality is I'm probably not going to retire.
I feel that if I stop working, I'll lose my goals and missions for life. So I'll probably continue working as long as I can. I think as in life, if you study history, each generation has its own strengths and weaknesses. And I think that when I do stop working, whoever takes over the void that I leave in the work environment will be able to handle the situations as they occur at that time. It's probably not that big a deal, actually. I found that wherever you go, people are the same, regardless.